Okay, so while I'm doing some cleaning here in the fish room and checking the camera around, let's do a quick video that I've been meaning to do for a while and just never got around to it. We're going to talk about a common fish ailment called ick, or white spot disease. So ick is an external parasite. When you see it on your fish, it's going to look like someone salted the fish. Many other ailments and parasites are often wrongly called ick, but you will know ick if you have it because, I mean, it literally looks like little white dots, little pieces of salt on your fish. And what you see when you see these little white dots is a cyst that the parasite's actually growing in. It is a protective coating. Ick itself is a protozoa, and this protective coating that you can see as the white dot protects the ick, the protozoa, from harm, basically. Think of it like a shell. And you can't do anything about it. There's no medicine that will take the shell off. There's no medicine that will kill the protozoa while it's in the shell. So, you have to go about it a different route. But first, let's look at what causes ick. Why did your fish get ick in the first place? Fish have what's called a slime coat. Think of it as just that, a coat made out of slime. It's a mucus that the fish makes that coats their body and protects them from damage, from parasites, all that kind of thing. So when the fish is healthy and, let's say, feeling good, it has a good thick slime coat and it can't really do much. Now, it's possible for ick to be on a fish while it's healthy and you not notice it, and it never to form the little white dots. The fish can manage it, and it comes off in a matter of time and never bothers the fish, doesn't harm it, and just, for all that you know, goes away. This is how that it can pop up in a tank that hasn't had anything new added to it in a while. When fish get stressed, they release a chemical called cortisol, and it also causes their slime coat to thin, which means their shield is down. So now they're more susceptible to parasites and illnesses. With that happening, then that encourages the ick to attach to the fish. So if you caught it there, what causes ick to show up in the long run is stress in the fish. You can get fish from a really healthy source. You can get fish from the best pet store in the world, or your buddy down the street that's never had ick, and that fish can get ick. Just from the stress of moving around and switching tanks and switching waters and all that kind of stuff, it can pop up and get stressed out and develop ick. Often, cold water changes or bad water quality cause it. It stresses the fish out and they just lose part of their slime coat and the ick takes advantage of it. Well, once one fish has ick and it's releasing that cortisol, which is a stress hormone, the other fish in the water can tell the cortisol's there, and they're like, oh, somebody's really stressed and worried about something. Now that's worrying me. And then they release the cortisol and their slime coat goes down and it can come to them. Alright, so that's what ick is and how it gets on the fish, how it comes about. Now what do we do about it? If you see white dots on your fish, don't wait, do something now. because by the time you see it, it's been on there for a little bit. Like I said, it can be on there and you not notice it at first. A lot of times, the first place it goes is in the gills. And when it's in the gills, the fish are having trouble breathing, and you don't see it. So, ick goes through 3 stages of its life. As the parasite eating on the fish, in its safe little cyst of a white dot, then it releases down into the substrate, basically like laying eggs. The eggs stay in the substrate. They have their own like little shield. You can't do anything to them there either. Substrate being the sand or gravel or whatever you have on the bottom of your tank. Then, shortly thereafter, a day or so, those eggs will hatch. And I'm using the term eggs because that's what we would understand. There's actually other scientific names for those, and they're not exactly eggs. But we'll say the eggs hatch, and the little microscopic ick babies go swimming back through the water to find a fish to latch onto and start feeding again. Now's the time to attack. You can only harm the ick while it's swimming in the water. You can't harm it in the substrate, you can't harm it on the fish. Just when it's in the water. So, how do you take care of it? How do you battle this ick that has such great protection? A couple different ways. If your fish can tolerate salt, if you don't have a lot of sensitive aquarium plants or sensitive fish, adding aquarium salt to your tank will help a lot. Before we get there, when you first get fish and you bring them in, fish traveling get stressed. Put them in quarantine, let them chill out. Let them spend a few weeks in quarantine in a separate tank, just getting used to how you do things, what your water's like. Do you feed them more than they're used to or not as much as they're used to? It's not about you think the place you got the fish from was dirty or diseased or whatever. Let your fish chill out. Let the new guys calm down before you toss them in with everybody else that's going to start asking them all kinds of questions and picking on them and stuff. Quarantining is first. Beyond that, now you're at the point you already see white spots. So, natural remedies. You can use salt. As long as your fish can handle it. Some fish can't handle salt at all, but if your fish can handle salt, follow the directions on the aquarium salt, and salt your water. It works for 2 ways. One, the salt encourages slime coat growth, so it builds that shield back up for your fish to keep the ick off of it. And second, it works on it's kind of like adding salt to the water. Your fish want to keep a balance between I think the word's osmotic pressures, where the water levels in their body and in the tank, and adding salt to the water will draw water out of them. Your fish can handle that great. Most of the fish can. The smaller creatures, like invertebrates like snails and slugs and protozoa like ick, can't handle it. That's why if you've ever heard of or seen anyone put salt on a snail or a slug, that's why it does what it does. It just pulls the moisture right out of it. So salt will do the same thing to ick. It will pull the moisture out of the ick and shrivel it up. But it only does it when it's in its free swimming form. So, how do we get all the ick in the free swimming form? Well, you can't get all of it at the same time, so what you want to do is get all of it to go through that cycle as fast as possible. So you want to warm the water up. If your fish can handle it, and that's what I'm going to say with all this, if your fish can handle it, Raise your temperature on your water. Now, something a cold water fish that's used to being in 60-degree water, you probably don't want to jack it up to 85 degrees. But if you've got a fish that's in 75-degree water, you could probably go into the 80s. So what temperatures are key points when dealing with ick? The closer you get to 86, the better. At 86 degrees, ick stops breeding. So that's a good thing and a bad thing, because you want ick to continue its cycle so that you can kill the babies. At 89 degrees, or roughly around there, it depends on other factors, but let's say 89 degrees, ick will die off. The problem is most of your fish will too. So low to mid 80s is where I would shoot for. That speeds up your fish's immune system, speeds up the ick's life cycle so that they become the babies more often and quicker, which is the point that you can kill them. Garlic is another natural remedy that you can use. Garlic is a natural anti-protozoan, or anti-protozoal, which means that it'll kill protozoas, which it is. But garlic, when used in this way, has a side effect. Not to the fish, to humans. If you love the smell of garlic, and you don't mind your house smelling like a extreme Italian restaurant, go for it. But it gets pretty strong. The way that I would suggest is you pick up an ick medicine. And really it doesn't matter which ick medicine it is, because you're looking for the active ingredient in it. And your active ingredient will usually end in a color like green or blue. So if you see an active ingredient on there that says such and such green, that's what you want. There's other chemicals that will work, like formaldehyde. I mean, if you're familiar with embalming and undertaking and that type of stuff, you've probably heard of formaldehyde before. And there's medications with copper in it too that will work. For me, those are really extreme medications there, because you're basically poisoning the tank enough to kill the ick without killing your fish. So I would stick with the ones that have the active ingredient that end in the blue or green. And follow in the directions on the bottles. Removing the carbon in your aquarium if you're using carbon, because that will nullify your medication. Do your water changes when you are supposed to, according to the directions, because as you're killing the baby ick, water changes will suck the babies out and you won't get your ammonia spike. And even after you look and you don't see any more ick on the fish, keep treating just like the instructions say, because it's not the visual ick that you're trying to kill, it's the microscopic babies that are swimming around the water. And after you stop seeing it on the fish, it's still in the water. But if you catch it and you treat it like I've described here, following the directions on the bottle of medication, you raise your temperature, you do your water changes, it's not the end of the world. It can be fatal on your fish, and it will be fatal on your fish if you don't take care of it. But whether you're a new hobbyist or an experienced hobbyist, ick is a part of it. It's like having a dog that gets ticks. It happens now and then, and you just learn how to take care of it. So let me know what you think about this idea of me talking about fish diseases and ailments. And have you ever dealt with ick? Apparently I got sidetracked and haven't been cleaning my tank, so I got to get back to work. But I'll see you next time.